Hello donators and supporters. This is a GoFundMe update finally. Thanks to you, I was able to go for treatment at a brain clinic for my long-lasting concussion, post-concussion syndrome. It's been 6 years by now, and I am so happy I found the clinic and that I was able to go thanks to you guys. The main question, I think, is how are you doing and was it helpful? Was it worth the money? And the answer is yes. I am doing good. I still do have symptoms. I'm not fully healed, but there is definitely a big improvement in my life. And I am 100% sure that it was worth the money. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want a little bit more details, that's what this video is for. But if you just watched this beginning and wanted to know if it helped, if it was useful, then yes. Yay. Thank you. Really excited. So the first thing they did was test me in many different ways, and they discovered quite a few things that were not working properly in my brain. And it was actually so helpful and interesting to have people understand my symptoms, what I'm experiencing, which things are hard to do for me. That in itself was like, wow, people actually know what's happening instead of just, oh, you need to rest more. I've been resting for 6 years, my GP. That's not helping. So they discovered that my response time was really almost too slow to be able to drive a car. So that's what he recommended to me after the first test. Like, maybe don't drive for a while until you've done the treatment. The way my eyes are able to track movement was not very good. And also how I switch focus, which is something, if you think about it, that we do all day, where you look at one thing, then you look at another thing. That's the thing we do all day long, and that wasn't working properly. And all those things, because they weren't working properly, cost more energy. They also discovered that my eyes had a nystagmus, which is an involuntary movement of the eyes, where in my case, they moved in both axes. So both, I think, to the right and up. And so the eye floats that way, and then the brain realizes and puts it back. And that in itself, of course, is also costing energy. And my brain had found, you wouldn't see this. If I was making videos, you didn't see my eyes move like you would as someone who was born with nystagmus. You can see their eyes moving all the time. Mine didn't, because my brain had found a workaround to keep my eyes still. But that workaround, of course, is also costing more energy. So all of this together made sense that I was tired all the time and that I was having headaches, at least to them. They were like, yeah, we can help you with this. So I started the treatment week at the start of March. It was a really intense week. They literally call it the intensive week, the intense week. I had to stay in an Airbnb near the clinic, as treatment was 3 hours a day, 1 hour at 9 a.m. and then 2 hours in the Airbnb to rest and do homework and get the apps that they recommended and stuff. I'll talk about that in a second. Then again from 12 to 1 and then again from 3 to 4. So 4 days of that. And it was really intense, mainly for me to try and get back there on time because of ADHD brain. It felt like I had to be very focused. The treatment itself, every hour that I was there, would start with activating my brain with both light and electricity to make the brain as receptive as possible or as happy as possible. I don't know exactly how to explain. And then we would do exercises. So the first part of the exercises I found really fun. It was almost like games on a flat screen TV where I had to quickly press dots when I saw them and remember certain letters and words and come up with words in a theme with different letters and do little calculus on the screen. It was actually really fun. And then later on, we also did that on a balance ball, on a Bosu ball. So that part I really liked. And then the last part I didn't like as much because part of it was sitting in a spinny chair. And he would very slowly spin me around while I looked at different things like my thumbs or a screen. And it would always make me quite nauseous, as well as different exercises where I would be looking at a dot or following a dot or moving my head while looking at a dot to train this tracking of my eyes and the focus shifts and all that stuff. So those exercises were a little bit more boring, but definitely very helpful for my brain. And they were very sure as well, which was kind of nice for me. They were sure I was going to improve. And I was still a little bit skeptical, but they were so sure. I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna improve. During the week, they discovered that I have a exertion headache, because I wouldn't necessarily have a headache after the treatment even, or staying at home. But the part where I got a headache was in the waiting room. And so one of the workers there was like, do you cycle quite fast? Yes, I was able to borrow a bike from someone, and I always walk or cycle just fast. That's my general mode. And she said, you might have exertion headaches. The heart rate spikes too much, and then that triggers a headache. So we were tracking this, and actually that is part of my issues, where even from laying down to standing up, my heart rate would spike 40 points, and that's not good. So they gave me a training schedule to train slowly up to my heart rate being more balanced. One more thing they gave me was different apps and tools during the week, and I was able to borrow their tools, like a daylight lamp, glasses, what is it called? Just the glasses with the light in your eyes to wake you up in the morning. They also had different tools like this, a little blowy thing that you can use to blow into your ear. Apparently the cool air can help with headaches. I didn't notice a huge difference, but I thought I'd buy it anyway because it's very cheap. And the second one is this one. This is called an ear pressure tool, and it can help people with migraines a lot, because you put it in your ear and this thing moves your eardrum a little bit, and that can help relieve pressure of your headache if you have a migraine. So for me, I'm not able to really feel the effect of this myself, but maybe I always recommend it because it's under 10 euros. You can just find it on Amazon or wherever you are online for under 10 euros, and maybe it helps. I think it's worth trying at least. They also recommended a bunch of apps that I was doing throughout the week in the after hours, let's say, like in between treatments. There's one specifically for audio training, basically. It's called Here Beyond. And I definitely have that where people are having different conversations. It just gets way too intense. And this app can help train that. It's a paid app and not super expensive. And then they also recommended the Peak app or Brain HQ, which are brain training apps. They are paid, but there are games that can help with many different brain issues. So also for people with dementia, or I think also ADHD, just helping you to train your brain and keep it happy is really good. If you want to try one of the games for free, it is called Stroop Effect, as he would say. He is American. It's one of the games that is on Peak, and you can see how you do. It's kind of interesting to see your scores improve. Also throughout the week, my scores would improve, my time would be faster, and then they would add more things to make it a little bit harder. There was definitely an increase in capabilities. At the end of the week, they were very happy. They said I had improved about 50%. They have like a question sheet of how much headaches you've had, how tired you feel, all those sorts of things. So they were very happy. They also said that my nystagmus was basically gone, almost fully gone after the week, because they do a little eye test with cameras on your eyeballs. It's very fun. Big goggles, basically. So that was pretty amazing to fix that within a week. I myself was feeling mostly just numb, tired, like I made it through and now I can rest. But I did notice even the same evening as I got home that I was messaging friends about an event several weeks away. And then the next day I was calling my doctor for appointments and sending emails, things that would normally take me a lot of energy to even get to doing them, like get myself ready to do them. I was just bringing parcels to the shop, ordering things online, like the little tools. I actually felt like I was on working ADHD medication. I don't use ADHD medication because it didn't work for me, but this was like, wait, I feel very organized suddenly. They gave me quite a lot of homework. The first week, it was 3 times a day doing 4 different exercises, plus other, like the physical training for the exertion headache for the heart rate that goes too high. I have a rowing machine that we got for free from a friend, a really old one. It's upstairs because that means my head isn't moving When you go for a run or a walk, your head is moving all the time. When you're seated on a stationary bike or a rowing machine, then your head is more stable. So it's easier to train this specific issue, apparently. And then I also had other exercises from my physio still, and it felt very intense still afterwards. And then I had a few setbacks, so that's why I'm only updating you now. I had a few setbacks, like I went to the chiropractor, which they recommended to me, but apparently that was too much at the time because I had headaches and nausea constantly for 2 weeks straight after that, which was horrible, of course, and I felt so stupid for like trying this new thing, even though I had my physical therapist, my manual therapist, but I was just following their advice, and people later explained to me that the chiropractor works with the nerves, and probably it was a little bit too much. So instead of helping my nervous system, it completely overstimulated it with everything else going on. And that just was like too much, stop, rest. And once after the 2 weeks, I was okay again. Unfortunately, I had a very busy period back then. I had to go to Germany first for a plant market that I work with the organizers. Then I had to film yoga classes for TV, which I normally practice a lot beforehand, but because of the nausea and the headaches, I was not able to practice that much, which of course then gives me more stress because you want to do well on camera. You don't want to take too much time from the whole production team, but it went well. And then I also had another plant market here in the Netherlands where I had to stay overnight. So 3 nights away in 8 days was a lot. After that, I took more time to rest, to literally, I went to a physio and she told me, I can see it in your eyes, you are done. Don't get any treatments anymore for a while, just rest, go to sleep, go on a nature walk, don't do any work. So that was kind of nice to have like permission to calm the fuck down. At the moment, I am feeling rested and well. I'm actually noticing that I wake up a lot earlier than I would normally. I would sleep 10 hours every night to wake up without headaches. My solution to the headaches was if I woke up at 8 in the morning, I had a headache, I would continue sleeping a little bit longer, and then I would wake up naturally like an hour or 2 hours later without a headache. So I slept a long time every night. And this morning I woke up at 7:30, no headache, got up, did yoga, did meditation, did some chores and walked outside a little bit. And now I'm filming this video. So I'm definitely feeling a lot more organized. It's the middle of May right now, and my work, I've worked ahead of time, and I've also finished a few projects that I have been in my brain for literally 8 months, some of them. So I'm doing things like that, like finishing things that were just in the back of my mind, like you still have to do this. That feels really good. We're not fully there yet. Of course, I still get headaches when things are a little bit too intense, but I am very positive about the improvements. Another thing I haven't mentioned yet is I've noticed that my stamina has improved a lot. Like I would normally do something in the morning or like throughout the day, work in the garden with my boyfriend, and then be be very tired for the rest of the day, sleep on the sofa. He would cook us dinner. I would just be on the sofa like a little vegetable. And now when I'm doing that, I'm noticing in the evening, a few weeks ago, he asked me, can you go to the shop to get some stuff for dinner? And I was able to go to the shop, help cook dinner, take a shower, wash my hair. And these were things that I would normally not be able to do after a busy day. So I'm able to do more in a single day, which feels amazing. I do still have some issues with my neck. My neck was injured in the fall as well. And I notice if I don't have a sofa like here to rest on with my head supported, then I get more issues. So I am trying to get back to physio exercises that I got to strengthen the neck. Basically just the deep neck muscles to train them more. But there's quite a few things that I would like to do regularly that I did at the start after treatment that are becoming harder to do because I've been focused on work and life and enjoying things. I've actually, with my boyfriend, been bouldering together as like a little date, more sporty dates. We went mountain biking, first time for me in like the dunes, really steep things and like scary little zigzag paths. It was really fun. Also, I heard afterwards that one of my friends got their concussion from mountain biking, so I'm going to be a little bit careful with that one, but just trying things again that brought me joy before. Acro yoga with my family, pole dancing. Of course, I do ballet, which is a pretty safe movement that I've been doing the past few years, and yoga again for myself. So moving again and being in the enjoyment a little bit more again without triggering neck pain, headaches, nausea. So that's still a search to find the balance of what can I do without over exerting myself. I'm also still supposed to be doing the homework on the apps, which I really want to get back to. This is my reminder to get back to it. And maybe your reminder as well if you have physio exercises or something that you want to do often, regularly, to help yourself, your health, your brain. This is your reminder, as it is my reminder. What I also learned from a manual therapist is that my brain is a little bit stuck in trauma mode. The sympathetic nervous system is activated, which is our fight or flight. We're on edge, we're focused on any danger that is coming our way. And I'm trying to get back into the parasympathetic nervous system, to the relaxed mode, the rest mode. Luckily, yoga is really good for that, especially Drew yoga that I was trained in from the age of 15. I'm 41 now. So just getting myself to do it is the hard part, and finding a spot here in my full messy house full of cat hairs and rose hairs. But that's something that I'm working on to get more grounded, more relaxed. Doing meditation definitely will help for that as well. And going outside into nature, the fresh air, even if it's just a garden, sitting outside, doing some weeding, stuff like that. So there's still improvements to be made, things to work on. But in general, I think it improved my feeling organized, my stamina, my energy levels, and helped understand myself better with the heart rate thing. And the nystagmus is fully gone. So long story short, the treatment was really helpful. I feel improved. I feel more able to do things, and also hopeful that there is still going to be more improvement and just being able to enjoy my life a little bit more. So a huge thank you to everyone who donated, who shared online or talked to their friends about it or left a comment. Everything helped so much to get to the goal. And I am so grateful that we were able to do this together and that I now feel a lot better. I hope you also feel really amazing in your body with your brain. If you have post-concussion syndrome yourself, feel free to message me about this if you want more information, or if you just have a question that I missed in this whole long story. I actually filmed this for the second time because the first time was just full of rants and chaos, and hopefully this time it was a little bit more organized and structured. Let me know in the comments if there's any more questions or if anything was unclear. But thank you for being here, and thank you for helping me through this whole big period. You're amazing.